Hey guys, another quick Reddit post today. This one is called Overnight Success of Getting My Father Out of Coma Using SATS. Hi all, I've been a long time lurker in this group, and while I've had many small manifestation successes, I rarely have any big manifestations until 3 days ago. My father attempted to end his own life. He switched off his HP and left our house without any notice. With no way of finding out where he is, my family and I drove around town searching high and low for his car. We went to all the hotels, hospitals. During this time, I pretty much gave up. I closed my eyes and I visualized finding my father in a hotel. I felt genuine happiness. I then opened my eyes and went back home. It was then that it occurred to me that I could use his iPad to locate his iPhone. Unfortunately, his iPhone was switched off and no location was detected. I didn't give up and marked his iPhone as lost. Minutes later, we got a location and immediately drove to said hotel. I found my dad's car, went to the room, and had to break the door. I found my dad in a hotel, only this is he was on the floor unconscious after he OD'd on insulin. We immediately called the ambulance and rushed him to the nearest emergency. After resuscitating him, he was transferred to a private hospital with much better facilities and doctors, but we encountered two problems. A, said hospital refused to admit my father due to it being a suicide. B, dad was not responsive and slipped into a coma. He was given a GCS score of 4. Eventually, he had to be intubated as well. During this time, I frantically searched for videos on YouTube on how to manifest health for someone else. Found a video where the person used 2 affirmations. A, X is healed. B, X is in perfect health. I repeated these 2 affirmations over and over again. I went to quite a quiet place and started visualizing my dad being happy and healthy. Eventually, we found another private hospital willing to admit my dad. This hospital was much better in many ways. My dad was in the ICU and in a coma. However, even the doctor in this hospital told us to pray and hope for a miracle that my dad will open his eyes. If he doesn't, he will be in a vegetative state. That night, I went back home with 0 sleep in the last 40 hours. I decided to do SATS. I tried thrice, but kept falling asleep. I visualized my dad opening his eyes, my mom telling us, let's go to the hospital. Dad opened his eyes. I visualized until I fell asleep. The next morning, it was a religious day for us, Hindus, and my mom and I decided to go to the temple and pray. Instead of praying for my dad's health, I showed my gratitudes. I told God, thank you for keeping my dad safe, healthy, and happy. I repeated the affirmations above over and over again. After praying, we decided to drop by the hospital. Mind you, this is an early in the morning hospital. This is early in the morning. The hospital would never allow us to enter as it is not visiting hours. But as soon as we reached the hospital, they allowed us to meet my dad because he opened his eyes. The nurse told us, I was just about to call you. I was so happy. I screamed and hugged my dad. It didn't end there. There were many complications as my dad was in a hypoglycemic state for over 12 hours and he has comorbidities. I used the same technique of repeating the same affirmations and doing SATS just before falling asleep. It's been 4 days since we found our father unconscious. He is now out of danger, conscious, albeit physically and mentally very weak. But he's alive and he will get better. I'm so grateful to the universe and God for allowing this miracle to happen. Thank you. Yeah, it's a cool success story. It's got a lot of comments and engagement on it. And, there we go. I actually have to get going because I'm meeting my dad and my stepmom out at a brewery to go get coffee. Or not coffee, to go get food. I'm drinking coffee. But the reason I'm bringing that up as well is because just last night, we kind of had a little bit of a scare over here as well. Actually sitting right here in the room, my dad was sitting right here in this chair. And there you can see Kevin right there acting a fool. When same type of issue, and this is why I don't really use iPhone and tracking that often. It seems to cause sometimes more confusion than good. But my dad was waiting for my stepmom to return home so that we could go to the store. We had been planning about to go to it, going to go get some stuff, go shopping for a bit. And he sees on her iPhone that her tracking location, that she'd been stuck in the same spot for like 30, 40 minutes, and then she's not answering her phone. So slowly over time, we've been waiting, and he keeps looking at his phone. He slowly starts freaking out, like that what's going on. Maybe she got in an accident. Maybe she got incapacitated somehow. Like, why wouldn't she be answering her phone? He tells me she always answers her phone, right? And so we Look at this guy. He is just too much. Anyways, we drive over there, but the whole time I'm telling him and I'm just imagining that, look, like it's just a glitch in the app. Like she's not actually there. The phone app is just glitching and having like a weird thing for whatever reason. And so we finally get there and her car's not there. And I'm like, look, the fact that her car's not here means that she probably is still at the farm, or she probably is driving, but the phone didn't like catch up in time. And so eventually she calls him back, she texts him back, calls him back. Turns out she was at the farm the whole time and she left her phone in the car because just to make sure that she doesn't leave it at the farm or whatever. And so eventually, like, my dad calms down. He was very upset, visibly upset, because he thought she had been in an accident. Apparently my stepbrother had been in an accident right around that same area, and we've known other people that have gotten in accidents there. So, you know, I guess like his concern was warranted, but I kept telling him and I kept telling myself, like, it's probably a glitch in the app, it's probably a glitch in the app, and that's what it ended up being. Now, I do think that, you know, I don't know that I don't claim to know the mysteries of the universe and how everything works. All that I know is that I like to take what I like to call a holistic approach. So regardless of whatever's going on, whether it's a health issue, whether it is something to do with more so, like in that case, the car, like being safe while you're driving, being safe and making sure that you are doing everything you can to ensure your safety. And in this situation, talking about potentially a suicide situation, the best thing that you can possibly do is to check all your boxes, cross all your T's as much as you can. And there's no way that you can constantly guarantee that all of them are being crossed all the time, Kevin, right? But the best that you can do, the better result that you will tend to get. So anyways, guys, sorry, I gotta go though. I will see you guys in the next one. If you like this video, drop it a like, hit me with a subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.